It's day 360 off the grid, and look, we've got a bit of a post bag. This arrived really fast because the guy said he just sent it yesterday, so overnight service on courier post. Not too bad, eh? New Year's Eve and all, yes. But I wasn't even going to be making a solar video today, but this arrived, so I don't have my other camera here, so I can't use the Gorilla Grip, so therefore it's one-handed, so I've already pre-cut. So let's see if we can get this bugger out. Oh. See more of my workshop than the thing. Oh, there's something in there. Something yellow. What's that? Oh, dearie me. I'm going to have to pause this and cut it open. And here we are. That was quite a challenge, even with the snips and two hands to get that open. This was really well packaged, but here we go. We've still got a little bit of surprise. Oh, what can we see in there? Let's open it up. Okay, here we are. It's a hydro cap. That's a hydro cap. It's a battery cap for an L12 golf cart battery, or lots of batteries that have got this fitting, really the bigger ones too apparently. It's called a water miser, and this has got three distinct advantages over the the stock cap that comes with the battery. It's got this little flip top thing here, so when you come to fill it, you don't have to unscrew the battery. You can just flip it up and drop in the water. Although whether you can actually do a dipstick in the battery like I like to do to check my water level with this on, I'm not too sure. We'll have to find that out. I think you can. I think this yellow bit will come away, but we'll find that out. Okay, that's one advantage. Two, it stops the acid spray mist from coming off the tops of the batteries, which is pretty important for my setup because I've probably got things in slightly too close quarters to my flooded batteries than I really should. But three, the critical thing is it's called a water miser for a reason, because it's got a catalyst in here which recombines the gas back into water and it drips back into the battery. So fitting these apparently allows you to save about 50% of the water that would have otherwise been vapped off, and that's got to be good when I'm running those batteries at quite a high voltage, especially over the summer. It'll save me having to top them up so often, and it will save a lot of distilled water being able to be added. I won't have to add so much, and I won't have to then make so much down at the railway station on my old distiller. Not that that's a major hassle, and obviously I'm still going to have other batteries that need it, but yeah. So I'm going to put these through a pretty good test. I've only ordered 3 at the moment. That's enough for one 6-volt battery, obviously, but I've got a situation that's really suitable for really testing these. So if anyone's interested in my battery videos on batteries or solar, then you might get something out of this, because what I've got is I've got 4 deep cycle batteries in this bank. 2 of them I bought brand new. They're Crowns. They are really good. They use stuff or water. But the other 2 were second hand, quite elderly, and one of them uses more water than the other. It's the most likely one to dry out first if I leave it unattended. So guess what battery I'm going to be fitting these to? Yes, the one that uses the most water. Now, if it turns out that after a while of using these, that one uses less water than the second bad, well, not so good battery, then it will prove that these are a successful device. And if its water usage carries on the same, well, we might better regard them as a failure. But I think that eliminating the acid mist for me is a worthwhile advantage at any rate. So I'm going to go and screw them onto the batteries now and see how we go. Probably give them a bit of a water too. And there we have it. There's the 3 new water miser caps installed on the old Amptec L12 battery. Yeah, that's the Amptec. This is, I think it's a supercharge. Oh, it says Dyno on the cap. I'm pretty sure it says, oh no, maybe it's not, I don't know. Something anyway. I'm not going to pull it out and have a look, obviously. But it's the old Amtech, which is the one that uses most of the water. And when I checked the water on this one, it was down to about 4 or 5 millimeters above the plates. This one here was a little bit healthier, as to be expected. It was about 6 or 7 millimeters, you know, not much in it. And there was a good 10 millimeters in the crowns, of course. And I have not checked these batteries or re-watered them since the day I installed the timer to tame the Morningstar, because remember, this is the controller that controls these batteries. So I think that timer's actually made a hell of a lot of difference there in terms of the rate that I've needed to re-water them, but it hasn't made any difference in the apparent performance of these batteries on the lighting circuit. In fact, for this main part of summer, I might even throttle it back even further and maybe give it days where it doesn't give that extra boost charge, you know, and not come on, well, not come on, but stay on all day and keep the batteries to the lower setting. I might in fact do that, we'll see. Or I could shorten the hours, you know, I can do anything I like with it. It's a flippin' digital timer. But anyway, these caps, they went on pretty well. This top part swivels, so once you've got the cap bayoneted on nicely, you can position that where you like it. And I found that it's best to flip them open like that, then you can get a good grip on this bit to actually tighten it off, because you're not going to be moving that very often. No problem with putting a dipstick in there or filling it. There's a completely open channel because all the catalyst material is contained up in here. The clicky bits do feel a little flimsy, so I don't know what it'll be like over the long term with that. I'll probably have to end up improvising an improvement at some point, but as long as we're careful with them, they should be fine. But we'll find out in a week or two what the difference is. I mean, this test will only take one run and prove their worth. It'll be just like that, like night and day, if they're good. But they claim that it'll reduce water needs by 50 to 60%. So what I'm thinking is it'll bring this battery here more into line with this one. And if they are worthwhile, I'll get another set for this battery, then another set for this battery over here, because it's the hardest one to get at. Well, actually that one is, but this one's hard to get at too in my cramped situation. And finally the easy battery to get at. Or I might buy more in one go. I mean, I just thought I'd buy 3 so that I was sort of hedging my bets each way there. Well, now it is the New Year's Eve and I'm not supposed to be mucking around with solar and batteries and all that kind of stuff today. I'm supposed to be preparing for the New Year's Eve show at Radio Foxton, which means getting some tracks together, getting some CDs and all that stuff together, and taking my guitar, because I thought I might just play Auld Lang Syne tonight at midnight, Jimi Hendrix styles. I did that once before actually, on the roof of a building that I used to live in Nelson on the turn of the millennium. Yeah, that's the turn of the number millennium, not the true millennium. You know, that's when it went from 1999 to 2000. Yeah, people argue that it wasn't really the turn of the millennium till 2001, and there may be merit in that, but who cares anyway? The calendar is not nature, so it was just good to see the all the 9s turn to 0s, wasn't it? You know. So I'm looking at these batteries. That one's been charged up. That one's got a good charge now. I've got these big, heavy, completely overkill dog bones, as they're known as, that I got, and I've got no better use for them at the moment. So I'll use these as the links. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having them big and heavy, but I might find a situation, of course, where big and heavy would be better. I've got a spare one of these too, these earth straps that I've used on this AGM bag over here. Oh yeah, and I might as well just say it on video, eh? I mean, I don't know, this video is going to be real funny because it's going to have all the battery stuff and then it's going to have like New Year's stuff on. Maybe I'll put it up as 2 separate videos. But yeah, I like to use starter batteries in my setups when I can, because I can get them cheap, and it seems to be a cheaper solution. But as you'll notice, if you look in the shed here, right in this section here, there is nothing but true deep cycle batteries. Although it can be argued that gel batteries aren't exactly true deep cycle batteries. They're more standby batteries. which is exactly why I want to leave them in that role as standby batteries and shift that sort of night battery roll over to these ones. So these are all deep cycles, flooded, gels, AGMs. And over here in the 24 volt system, of course, again, it's mainly a gel system. Although I have sneaked in a little no maintenance starter battery over there to replace the weak gel here that I took out of the bank. And that seems to be working fine. But these orange wires here lead out to the battery fridge, and in there is a set of automotive starter batteries. I bought them brand new, one by one, when I first got my solar shed operational, and eventually they became the core of the day bank. And I was running this day bank fully on starter batteries. I had these and these for the night batteries and the light batteries by then, but the day bank we still had on just starter batteries. Some of them, like I say, were brand new when I put them in. Some of them were second hand from the garage, but you know, that worked well enough. We only used them during the day, so the idea was they were just a buffer to keep heavy loads satisfied and stuff. And we'd switch to the deep cycles at night. So, you know, you can use starter batteries if you are careful about using them and don't expect too much from them. That's the key. If you try and use them like a deep cycle battery, yes, you'll kill them. They're not suitable for that. They're not deep cycle batteries. Think of them as shallow cycle batteries. Then you can't really go wrong. So there we go. Okay, well that'll do. It's day 360 off the grid, so another 5 days and a full year off the grid completely. But of course I've been on solar mainly for a lot longer than that. But you know, there's something special about actually being off the grid. Like no grid, no grid tie, nothing of that. You know, you're making your own power, and to me that's got to be good for the environment. You know, the fact that, you know, you're lessening your demands on some corporation somewhere, that's got to be good. Of course the corporations make the batteries and stuff like that, but you know, I guess you can't win either way, can you, in a way? And you know, and you can't say that solar power is free, because it's not, because every time you cycle a battery you're wearing it out, and you've got to sort of factor that cost in. And that's why I'm so interested to see if I can make systems that work with these cheap second-hand starter batteries, because it makes the battery cost then almost zero, or you know, negligible, you know, almost nothing, insignificant. You know, so that's what I'm kind of working on. I think the answer there is as many solar panels as possible, and keep your night load demands really small, and do what I've been doing the whole time, shift over to a smaller set of genuine deep cycles for your night loads. Yeah, that seems to work for me. But like I say, at the moment I have no major part of the system reliant on starter batteries, but there are some in the system, and there may end up being more. Oh bugger, I just forgot, I left all this stuff out specifically to film it, and just want to show you how I do I'm not going to do the full process, but this is my dipstick. It's just a piece of insulation off a piece of cable I stripped off, so it's just all PVC and no copper of course inside there that would react with the acid. The black ones work quite well. There's a distinct colour change, and you can tell where the level is. Once I used this and it didn't work very well, it's hard to tell. This jar I pour the water in and got to do a rough measure, and I used to use a baster to drip it into the batteries, but that was slow and tedious considering the amount of water these suckers take now. So I use this funnel, this fuel funnel. I just stick it on top of the battery, fill up my jar to what I think it should be, and just dump it in. Or if I only have to tweak it up a little bit more water, I just pour it directly from the bottle. I just store my water into whiskey bottles, because whiskey's good, and they're good sized bottles. I can fill one of these bottles from the distiller during the time I do my railway station watch, and you know, take advantage of their grid power. So, you know, wow. Dirty little secret there, eh? And yeah, could arrange my own solar distiller. In fact, we've probably got enough juice here at the moment in summer to distill our own water using the solar electricity, but why bother? And that's what I do. Yeah, that's how I fill the batteries. So everyone has their own ways that work. I have considered automatic watering systems and that kind of thing, but the thing I don't like about them is you never really know what level the batteries are at, so I don't think I'd trust that. So there we have it. That is enough.